Snap us in.
Snap us in. All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Photo Room Podcast. My name is Daniel,
My name's Jair.
and sorry we haven't been doing any podcasts lately.
It's been 2 weeks.
It's just been 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks, yeah.
And it's just been busy, man.
It's been so busy.
It's been crazy.
And not just busy, but I physically haven't been here. So it's like,
Yeah,
how are we
exactly.
going to do a podcast? Well, I mean, we could, but
Yeah,
it's
and I
more of
was
a hassle.
contemplating that too. Like, I was like, man, what if so Jade's gone, and what if I just like bring on a guest and talk to them?
Oh, yeah, that could have been good.
No, but then I was like, the whole point is for us to kind of talk, and then sometimes I mentally break down where it's like I don't know what questions to ask that person.
Oh,
and that would have
yeah.
been cool. When you would come in clutch for sure
For a
Just be
question
like,
or
yeah,
two?
just like a
Yeah.
question or two. So
I feel it.
I was like, I don't know.
Eventually, we'll both be able to just bring on guests and like be easy in a
Yeah.
sense of like having the conversation and asking those
Exactly.
questions. But
Yeah, but for now, I think it'd be we have to do it together. I think it'd be crazy not to, but we do have a lot to talk about,
Yes,
and
quite a bit.
I kind of want you to take the reign on that. Like, where were you?
I was in Las Vegas, and then I was in Florida, Siesta Keys, Florida. If anybody's ever been, that was my first time there. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I was shooting for a company that I work with called Born Primitive.
Mm-hmm.
So we're shooting a variety of things, mostly social content.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I was doing.
Nice. So it was in Miami.
No, it wasn't Miami. Miami was last month.
Oh,
This time around was Siesta Keys.
yeah. What a horrible problem to have.
You know, it's funny, like traveling, like the idea of traveling, I should say. The idea of traveling to go work somewhere is like cool. Like, oh, wow. Like, you know, that's a great experience and, you know, all those things. But the act of traveling sucks. Flights getting delayed, canceled, pushed back, moved. Like, it's a pain in the ass. But, I mean, it is what it is. It's just part of what you deal with.
You know what's funny is that it makes me nervous because I have a wedding in Chicago in April.
Yeah.
And that it's like a wedding on Thursday or something like that. And then Saturday I have another wedding here.
Yeah.
And I remember like watching Eric's like stories. He's always delayed, and then you tell me you get delayed. It's like it's kind of sketching me out. Like if I might get delayed. But
when's your flight back?
Friday.
Friday at what time?
Day. I think in the morning.
Get
like
the
10 a.m.
earliest flight you could possibly get.
It's like
because if not, this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Your flight's at 2:00, right?
Yeah.
And then you're gonna get delayed in Chicago to your connecting flight to Phoenix and then your flight to Yuma, right? So, you're gonna get pushed back till about maybe 3:30, 4:30.
Yeah.
And then what's going to happen is that your connecting flight in Phoenix or wherever it is going to
You're gonna be late to that one.
pushed right back up against it. So then you're going to get delayed there. And then you're going to realize, well, there's no flights back home until like 2 days from now.
So I'm driving from Phoenix to Yuma.
Yeah.
probably.
So I would say get the earliest possible flight from Chicago to wherever you need to be. Because it's going to be
and I think the clients already got the flights. So I don't even know.
Yeah.
So so it's a wedding that we're gonna do, and shout out to Danny Puentes. He couldn't go, so they really wanted somebody to go from here. So he's like, hey, I got these two guys that can do the thing. They can do the shoot for you, and let me hook you up with them. And he did.
Dope. Who are you going with, Arturo?
Yeah, Arturo.
Awesome. That's going to be so fun.
It's going to be fun.
What was I going to say? Another thing, going back to the flights, if you are on a flight, this is like a pro tip right here.
Okay.
If you're on a flight and you have to connect to another one, it's going to be close. Depending on where your seat is.
Yeah.
So like when the company usually gets it for me, like they'll get me like a seat somewhere in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Whatever, it's no big deal. I'll sit somewhere in the middle, and I'm saying like the middle of the plane, right? They always get me a window seat. Shout out to them. But if there's a possibility for you to move up, pay the $20 or whatever it is to move like as far as you can up, because dude, has saved me. Like me, like running, like I've done the thing where I move up and I get off the plane and I'm like doing like a light little, jog power walk through the airport, and making it like right on time. And I know I wouldn't have made it if I was like sitting back in the back of the plane, like thinking, damn, this plane is about to take off. This other plane is about to take off without me.
Yeah. And are you only doing the carry-on? Like
No. So I check in a bag with most of my things, and I carry my camera equipment with me.
Okay.
So like that's the only thing I have with me. It's just a backpack essentially.
Yeah, right.
And then like all my other things are somewhere somewhere traveling.
That's insane to me because I've traveled. I've traveled on planes and everything, but I've never traveled to like go work, somewhere. So this will probably be the first time, and I'm always like, what do I take? Like, what lenses do I take? Like, because I have a lot of stuff, and I want to take everything, but I know I can't. Like, for sure, my Ronin, so I get some steady shots at the wedding, maybe 2 or 3 lenses, and my batteries, and that's probably gonna be it. Or tripod, like a travel tripod, maybe. I don't know, because I can't take my lights, like for weddings, so I'm gonna have to be like, I hope it's lit up over there. Oh, I'll take like the aperture ones, like the small ones.
You could take the smaller ones. No, for sure. Like be instrument. Like I don't know. Think about it. Think about it a lot. You don't need half the things you think you need.
Yeah.
Realistically, and just take like the super essential stuff.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's like one of those things. Like it's there, you have it, it's cool, right? Like okay, if I need it, it's there. But in all reality, it's like you're not gonna use it.
Yeah,
just leave it at home.
Yeah, because like when I do weddings here, obviously I kind of go overkill with all the gear, just because I'm always thinking like, well, if I don't need it, then I still just have it just in case.
Yeah, no, but that's here. So like you have that, you can have that in your car. That's in the parking lot of the whatever. But you're talking about traveling across the country. With 7 lenses. It's like you obviously don't need that.
Yeah, I won't need it.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not.
I'll probably just take the essentials, obviously. Just like whatever I need.
And then we all have like those specialty lenses too, or maybe not all of us, but like some of us have like
that preferred.
Yeah, like the one that you go to. It's like just make sure you got that one. And the other ones that you use.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, sometimes I use this one in this occasion. It's like, no, bro. Just leave that at your house. It'll be back. It'll be there when you get back.
So it's fun when you go shoot. It's just the travel is kind of like hectic.
Yeah, the travel is kind of a pain. But I'm kind of getting used to it. Like it's not all bad. Like I mean, even when we get delays and stuff, it's like, all right, what can I do meantime?
Yeah.
So like sometimes I just take that as time to just chill. I'll eat at the airport. It's cool.
So I remember you came back from Vegas. I think you came back like Sunday night.
I came back Monday, like evening.
Monday evening. Yeah. And then your flight was like at
7 a.m.
on Tuesday morning.
The next day, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, do you need a ride or anything? You're like, no, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then I get a call in the morning. And
it's like, bro,
are you at the studio? And I'm like, no, but what do you need?
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, I think I didn't have time to get my Ronin.
Yeah.
Right? Or something like that?
Yeah,
and some headphones.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I got you. Dude, I was just fast 11.
Dude, so you know
10.
what's funny? Cause like I even called you and I was like, yo, bro, like they're already like boarding everybody. Like it's all good. Thank you so much for trying. And then the guy at TSA, like the one up front, like he obviously he's doing his job, he's checking people in and stuff, but he was being very like talking to people like, oh, where you at? Oh, cool, he was like very for whatever reason he was just taking his time, like he understood that. I mean, he even if he like rushed all these people through, like they still have to go through the whole thing and stuff. So I think he was kind of making it easier on his teammates over there and just kind of like talking to whoever was up and then letting the kind of the line flow, right? So I was the last one to like board, and I walked in with the gimbal in my hand, and the gimbal looks a little intimidating if you don't know what it is. And like there was like another person flying at some other point. I don't know, maybe they had just arrived or something, but like he saw me and he like was like, what was that? And he just kept walking. And then I went up to TSA and I was like, hey man, this is a gimbal, just so you know. It's like, and he's like, oh no, that's cool. He's like, are you a videographer? And I'm like, oh, how did you know? I'm like, yeah, actually I am. But they were super cool about it, and I put all my things there, and but by the time I got on, like they were still doing a few things, so it's like even though I was like the last and running a little bit late, like they were running late too, so it helped.
It was funny because that when you called me and you told me, hey man, like thanks for trying, like you whatever.
You're
it was just
I'm gonna get there.
Green light after green light.
Oh really?
Yeah. It was just a straight shot.
You know what? Sometimes you have to accept defeat, and then you just win.
No, it worked out perfectly. Yeah, I literally like almost like chucked it at you.
Yeah, so I know. It. Yeah, I know. And when you pulled up, it's funny because while I was waiting there, I was like, dang. Getting close, like kind of nervous. Yeah. But when you pulled up, I was like ready to take all the time in the world. Like, what's up? Hey, thanks so much, bro. Like
I know,
because I don't know, for whatever reason, I just felt like I had the
just
time.
Just dap me up.
Yeah,
I felt like I don't have a plane like waiting for me right
now. No, they were a little backed up, so it worked out.
That was cool, man. That's awesome. And I'm always like, cause I was busy here, right? So it's like, even if I did want to shoot a podcast, like I don't think I would have the time.
Yeah.
Like, cause I was like, okay, Jaid's gone, so I'm gonna start kind of like having people who reach out to me. I'm gonna start booking them for photo shoots, video shoots. But I also had like a bunch of stuff to edit, so I was always just doing something.
Right.
And it was just so funny because Eric is also in where does he go?
He was in Vermont.
And then you were in Florida. And I was like, that's so dope that we're all just doing something. Obviously, I wasn't traveling, but I was kind of holding it down here too. Like
someone had to. Someone had to.
I was like, man, I gotta do all these things. Yeah. Like I gotta do all these edits, and it was funny because I was as like people are contacting me to like, hey, can you do this wedding this day? I'm contacting Jaid, and I'm like, Jaid, can you do this date? And you're so busy. Like you usually respond to me within like a couple hours, maybe, and it's like days.
Oh yeah, it's hard. It's hard because, especially when I'm over there, like it's a little bit of a different environment, right? From when you're shooting here at home, opposed to when like you're traveling somewhere to shoot,
right?
Because it I don't know. I guess maybe not everybody thinks about it like this, but it's a responsibility that you took on, that these people have planned for a year already, a year of planning. Like, okay, this time comes around, we're doing this and that. And like, I don't know. I want to make sure that they get everything that they expected or even more. Right.
Right.
So yeah, it's one of those things for me when I show up, I'm like fully on, like I'm there.
Yeah, you're vested.
I'm there, right? So yeah, for me, it's one of those things where, even if I have to place other things on hold, obviously I do it strategically in a sense of like I know what I can put on hold and I know what needs to be done there and then. So yeah, when I go, I'm zeroed in.
Yeah, and it's funny because, and it's not like I get upset or whatever because you don't answer me. Like I completely understand, but it's also like I know that you're so invested because you don't even post anything.
No, I don't.
Like
post
you post like maybe one photo or one video like the whole time you were gone.
Yeah,
and I was like, and I completely understand. Like I would do the same thing. Like if that company calls me and it's like, hey, you need to be here, and we need to shoot. Like I want to give them their money's worth, basically.
Of course.
That you're, and you're full in. You're very creative. You're very like, I want to get the shot. You're looking around. You're doing 110% of your effort to do it, because then also you want to go back too.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you want to keep the client happy, and because if you enjoy what you're doing, then you want to keep doing it as much as you can, right? Exactly. So yeah, definitely when we're out there, it's like it's funny, like it's as different as it is from when you're shooting at home, it's still the same thing in a sense, right? It's like you're still doing the same work. It's just different elements, right?
Yeah.
So you're working with different people, you're working in different settings and things of that nature. But I mean, your job essentially is the same, right? So you kind of just you grasp onto what you're good at and you just keep doing it, right? So like I know the first time I went, I was a little nervous. I was like, well, how do they, what do they want me to do? Like, do they want me to do it like that or like this or, but then when I realize I show up and it's like, wait, I'm the professional. Like, I know what I should do. I should tell them how it's gonna happen, and go from there. So it was a very fun like sequence of events when that happened, and I say fun because it was like a eye opener to me of like I actually know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember the first time I show up and they show me around the headquarters and stuff like that, and then I see the in-house studio and stuff, and they're telling me how they've done things in the past, and I'm like, that's wrong. I'm like, shouldn't have done that. but in a sense of like trying to help, right? It's like, you know what? I think this way would be better and that way would be better. And instead of this, we could do that. And so like at that point, they're like mind blown. They're like, wow, we've never thought about that.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just natural. Like, it was just like, no, that's what I think is going to work best. And sure enough, they ran with it. And so it made me comfortable enough to like, now when I'm shooting with them and I suggest or say something, I'm confident in what I'm suggesting. Or even if it's just an idea that's a little off the wall, like at least I know that I can see it through to a certain extent, right? It's like, I mean, sometimes there's situations where it's like, honestly, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but let's just try it.
Make it till we make it, baby.
Right. No, but then it's easy to be open with them too about that. It's like, let's just try it. Let's see what happens, And so, you build up, I guess, a reputation with them enough where they just trust. It's like, hey, sure, well, let's do it. So.
Yeah, that's really cool. Do you kind of want to share what happened to you in Vegas when you came back?
What happened to me in Vegas?
When you called me so stressed out?
Oh, yeah. So we had just done a podcast about memory cards and things of that nature. I'm like, what happened to me in Vegas? I completely forgot. You know what? I forgot because I figured it out.
Yeah.
So exactly. Disclaimer. No sad stories.
It's a happy ending.
Yeah, it's a happy ending. So I'm in Vegas and I don't have any of my, I don't have a laptop with me. I don't have hard drives. I don't have any of that. I took things that I needed just for the purpose of shooting, right? Because I was only going to shoot for 2 of the days that I was there. I was there for 4 days total. So I figured I'll do it like any other time that I've ever shot, like when I go on vacation. Yeah, especially because, I mean, think about it. Like, I've taken my camera equipment with me when I go, like, just on a vacation. I shoot some things. I shoot some video of some things, and it's all good. It's there when I get back, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I go to Vegas, and the company's letting me know, like, hey, we need you to shoot this, this, and that while you're out there. And I'm like, cool, I can take care of that. No big deal. So the process of shooting all that is very simple, very easy. It can be recreated at any point if I'm physically there and if the people I need to shoot are there, right? Yeah. But it was super important, right? It was for a big campaign that they have.
Yeah.
So let me reiterate this. It was super easy to shoot.
Yeah.
It was just very, very important.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I do it. I shoot. I go back the next day. I shoot some more. And then I get home and I'm trying to put things or back things up. And then like half the files are missing.
Oh, no.
And I'm like freaking out. And the worst part about it is that the half of the files, there was one video clip that I said to myself, if there's nothing on here, but at least I have that clip, I'll make it work. Good, yeah. It's no big deal. I can make it work, and it's all good. I don't even have to bother them with letting them know what happened.
Yeah.
Well, turns out that's the clip that was missing. So I was doing circles. I was asking Danny. I was looking up things on the internet, how to recover, files. And I had spent like 2 hours on it. And this is like, when I say 2 hours, it felt like eternity. It felt like it was forever. I couldn't figure it out. It was irking me because I could see the files there. Uh-huh. They weren't reading them, So So I ultimately land on this YouTube video that says that it can recover files. So they did a really good job.
Yeah.
This YouTube video tells you, you know what? If you run into a problem, these are a few steps that you can take to try to recover your files.
Yeah.
If all that fails, hit us up and we'll charge you and we will for sure recover them. Well, I tried none of those things. And I said, let me pay you. Let me pay you to recover my files.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I downloaded the thing. I paid the monthly service. And there it was. Yeah. There were the files that I needed.
Dude.
And so right now they're actually running the ad. And it's, I don't know how much they put behind their ads. But it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's the importance of me having to have that. So yeah, it was a big one. I'm so fortunate for it to I've gotten recovered. So now I'm just like stressed. I'm like, why did that happen? Yeah. I did nothing where I could tell myself, you know what? It was at this point where I messed up. No, it just happened.
And before anybody in the comments just add like, why didn't you take your laptop or this and that? Well, in the last podcast, we talk about how Jair used to edit, and sometimes he does that, like on his iPad.
Yeah.
So it would have been very easy for you to just edit something if need be.
If I needed it. Yeah.
But I don't, for whatever reason.
Yeah. No, because in my head I was like, I'm coming back home from Vegas, and I'm going right to Florida. In Florida, I did take my computer.
Yeah.
So and then in Florida, I was physically gonna be there with the company.
Yeah.
So I in my head I was like, yeah, I'll take that with me.
Yeah.
Right. I can set that memory card aside in my case.
Mm-hmm.
And it's safe, and it's all good. It wasn't all good.
No.
And I don't know. I try to think back. It's like, if I would have done this, if I would have done that. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what I could have done.
It's
to prevent
such a
that.
stressful thing, because I remember when you started doing weddings with me, you're like, man, it just stresses me out that we'll lose footage, or something like that. Remember you would say that?
Yeah.
And I would never really think about losing the footage, because I would always back up my things right away.
Right.
But it's happened to a lot of people that I know too. Like, it's just the card. Mm-hmm. So what did I do when you told me like that it got corrupted? I bought 3 new ones.
You bought new ones?
Yeah, I bought new cards because it's so like it happened to you. It could literally happen
anyway.
Knock on wood.
Dude, so the weird part is, like, I was like, okay, if it got corrupted, why did half of the files work and half of them didn't? Like, wouldn't all of them?
Wouldn't they just all?
I don't know.
Dang, anybody know?
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, if anybody knows, let us know what's up with that.
It's crazy. It's crazy how much you need to, like, at least have a hint of knowledge about when you're doing like video, photo creative stuff.
Yeah.
Because you don't think about when you're starting to do photo, like memory cards, lighting, like all those things. You just think about like capturing photos, right? Or capturing video.
You know that you need a memory card to do that.
Right. But that's not your first thought.
Yeah.
And like, what happens if things go wrong,
Yeah, exactly.
But
it might even have to do with like the reading and writing.
Yeah.
Like, speed.
I gotta check. I want to go back and look at that memory card so that I don't buy that.
Yeah.
But
should we burn it?
No. But the thing is that memory card, because a lot of memory cards look exactly alike.
Yeah, I know.
That memory card, because I know which one it is, because I can still see some of the files, so I know which one it is.
Yeah.
It's very similar to like a handful of the other ones, and the other ones have never gave me issues. Are they about to? I don't know.
It's kind of. It's funny now because you recovered it, but it's funny how we talked about that in the last podcast. Yeah.
And
it literally just happened to you.
And realistically, like since I've started, I've had like maybe 2 or 3 memory cards like, the little ends in the back, they what's it called? They break off or something. So I toss those, get rid of them, just to not use them by accident or whatever. And that one was in perfect condition.
Dang.
Like, it looked good, and it wasn't good.
It was the opposite.
It was the opposite of good.
Oh no, dude! I just can't imagine like being in that situation. And I know when you called me, I was laying down in my house and I was just like resting.
Yeah.
Because I was beat like that whole week, and I think I texted you like twice. I'm like, hey man, are you good? Like, did it happen? Did it work? And it wasn't until like midnight you answered and you're like, I got it. And I was like, dang, because it was literally that night, and then that next morning you had to leave.
I was heading out, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I can't imagine him not getting it and then being on that plane and just having to think about it.
Yep.
I was like, oh, dude, that would kill me.
Yeah.
Honestly.
No, I'm glad we figured it out. It's all good.
Yeah.
We figured it out.
So the other thing I kind of wanted to talk about, and you obviously have a little bit more experience with it, is landing that company Born Primitive. Like, how do you think, or hopefully it helps somebody else out, but how do you think you got that? No, how do you know that you got Born Primitive as a client?
It was a variety of things. Most importantly, I was working with our good friend Yvette Dahl. She was already associated with that company. So when I started making things for her, they noticed, and then that's when they reached out. So that was definitely the first big thing, and I realized not everybody has a friend that's already associated with things, you know.
Company, yeah.
So it was just about seeing the opportunity there. And I remember telling Yvette specifically, I'm like, you know what? We need to start doing reels. And they have the photos. They have all this other stuff that they're doing, but they don't have video. Like, there's no video. I don't see any video on their stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember like telling her over and over again, we need to do reels. We need to do reels. And it's not that she was hesitant, but I mean, she was busy. I was still busy too. So like coordinating that was a little tough until we finally coordinated it, and they like loved it. They were all about it, and they wanted more, as much as we can give them. Right. So that was the easiest segue for me to just kind of step in. Right.
Yeah.
So, I had already spoken to Jen, who's amazing, and she's like coordinating everything. She has like 17 jobs and she does them all amazingly. So I was already talking to Jen because we had already spoken about a few photo shoots that we did here in town with Yvette for some of their lines. And so we did that, and then the opportunity came up of like, hey, would you be interested in coming out and helping us out with video? And I was like, yep, let's do it. So it was just it's a easy like 1, 2, 3 kind of thing step of the, thing that went down, but it was definitely a good period of time before it actually happened, and it was just consistency of they enjoyed the work, they wanted to see more, they saw it, they enjoyed it, and it just kept going and going and going until they decided, okay, we need to have something like that but here. And I'm not sure if they looked around their area first, or if their first thought was just like, you know what, we need that guy because he already knows what he's doing, kind of thing, So yeah, again, very fortunate to have friends in positions to so that I could, that would help me. So that was great. But to anybody else that's looking to do something like that, it's like just realize when those opportunities are there and just capitalize on them. Because I remember thinking specifically, and I was in my head, this is how it was gonna go down. Yvette and I were gonna kill it with the reels, and then they were gonna like them so much that they were gonna be like, hey, is there anybody else around you? Because they have women's and men's clothing in different sizes and shapes and styles or whatever. So it's like, okay, great. We see all this amazing stuff you do with Yvette. Is there anybody else we can shoot out there so that we can have a variety, right? And so that was in my head how I broke that down. It's like, we're gonna kill it here, then they're gonna ask for more, and then they're just gonna keep us like busy with things that they want. Yeah. So, but what actually ended up happening was like, no, you come over here and shoot what we need you to shoot.
That's insane.
So yeah, like I didn't even expect to have that. And, and hopefully we can, now continue what we're doing and possibly grow into even more things and just about, doing my part and just, I think one thing that I've realized until now was everybody needs something, right? And so if you figure out what they need and you just bring it up, you don't even gotta convince them.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's been a few times where I'm like, hey, I know this and this is going on. Like, would you guys need this? Oh yeah, like we were just thinking about that, or like I meant to text you and I completely space because again they're so busy and it's like, yeah, no problem. Like, do you want me to send you the quote? And it's like, yeah, shoot it over. I'll make sure to get you paid out. Boom.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things of like, don't block yourself from that opportunity. If you see the opportunity, take it. Back it up for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Back it up, and then some. But then if you see the opportunity, take it. Just continue to keep taking those opportunities. Right. Because it could have been very easy for me at times where I'm like, well, if they want it, they'll contact me, or if they have an idea, they'll hit me up, or if this, they'll do that, if this, and then that, and it's more of like, no, I have the idea, like, hey, this is what I got. What do you think? Or like, hey, I know you got this going on. Do you need me there? Cool. Hey, so those situations, like
one thing led to another.
Yeah, and just capitalizing on them. Like even if it doesn't pan out for whatever reason, I'd be like, oh, it's all good, no worries, and then just keep that relationship going. Because those relationships are important. And like I said, if you keep backing it up, then all they're gonna want to do is just deal with you.
Yeah.
Because they know what to expect.
When you build that relationship too.
So. Yeah, of course. So why would they be at one point it's like, hey, we need things that we're already getting with Jer, let's go look somewhere else. It's like probably not. They're probably going to be like, okay, well, ask Jer if he's available, right? So I think it's definitely important to build those relationships and keep those relationships, and then just take any opportunity that you see, right? Because sometimes they don't see it, for whatever reason. They could be busy, they could be thinking about a million other things, and when then you bring it up, it's like, oh wow, I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Exactly. So 2 things I want to add too on that is when you started doing the reels with Yvette, it was also when reels was barely popping off.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't really a thing like on Instagram. So when you added that value to that, I think it really like open the eyes for those or that company specifically.
Yeah.
And they're Born Primitive is very CrossFit, strength and conditioning heavy. Like it's basically that's what their outfits are for, are their clothing line. And that's all you shoot, or that you were shooting a lot.
Yeah.
I think you were shooting a lot more, like with Hidden Valley, right? Like you were going there every other day.
Right.
You go there on Wednesdays, shoot whatever you have to shoot there, and obviously you go through your Instagram. It's like CrossFit, like a lot of content.
It's heavily CrossFit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was the nature of what I was doing. Yeah. So that's another thing. Like I remember when I was doing a lot of CrossFit and I was still trying to break into other things. I was all over the place in a sense of like, should I go over here? Should I ask these people? Should I do this? Should I do that? And and then taking those chances, and I ended up shooting, cars, guns, jiu-jitsu, things of that nature. Like I was trying to shoot all of it. And then I realized like, well, I already have like a thing going here. I have something going right here. Like might as well keep that going, right? And and more than me making that decision, it was kind of presented to me in that way. When I started realizing like, okay, I'm really getting hit up now for this, then why not? I enjoy it. I have a knack for it in a sense. Like I've been doing it so long that I should have a knack by this point, right?
No kidding.
So I've been doing it for enough time to know my way around, scenarios or things of whatever nature to just feel comfortable shooting it, right? So I think leaning into that helped me out a lot into just kind of like progress my career, that much faster.
Yeah.
Because you know how it is, like when you first start, especially like you're gonna shoot anything that throws you a bone, right? Like
exactly
anything that pays, you're gonna shoot it. And then you start realizing like, I don't like doing that so much. I want to do this, right? But then whatever that is that you want to do, what if you're not good at that?
Yeah. Well, not only that, like I also feel like it's fun because that happens to me. Is that I shoot weddings, I shoot real estate, I shoot YouTube videos, I shoot so many things.
Yeah.
So you're not really focused, or your attention doesn't really focus on a lot. So and that's what I'm having trouble with. Like on my Instagram, I post like so many different things. People might not know what it is that I do, but that's kind of the curse of trying to do everything, right? Where now I really want to focus on like me and like I want to do more content for myself, but then I got bills to pay too. You know, like
yeah, of course.
You can't just like let go clients that are willing to pay you money to just kind of do your own thing. But with you, it was so cool because you already had that niche, like that thing, and now all you're doing is just getting way, way, way better at it, you know?
Right.
So, like, I remember when I had shoots with, like, any kind of fitness thing, I'd be like, hey, Jaid, let's go shoot this. Because I know Jaid had, like, that eye and that ideas and things like that. And it just worked well, you know? And then weddings, like, with me, I do a lot more weddings, and Jaid would call me and do weddings. And, like, it just kind of flows very, very well. But the dream is that, you know, to just be able to focus on one thing you like. Like me, I would love if I can do sit down interviews with people and, you know, like just documentary style videos. I would love to. But somebody once told me also is like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, documentary videos. Okay. Have you done one? No. So it's like, so how do you expect anybody to hire to do a doc if you haven't shot one or if you haven't done it? With you, it's like, okay, let me hire this guy that does CrossFit videos. I love his videos, his photos, because you obviously have that eye for it, and you do it every other day or every single day almost. Born Perimeter is obviously going to be so attracted to that idea, and not only that, but they're going to respect like what you do and your ideas that you bring to the table. So now it's like, okay, we have to bring this guy on board. Like you have no option. You know, because maybe somebody's over there in Virginia or whatever, but they're not giving that same value that you're giving to that company. So they see that, and they're willing to pay you. And that's the crazy thing is that people are willing to pay you, fly you literally across the country to make it happen. And that's probably what's the best out of what you do. And obviously the travel sucks sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. No,
but you get the better of it.
Yeah, no, of course. And it's like it goes back to the idea of be good, like do what you're good at kind of thing, right? Like you mentioned something about the weddings, like when, especially for events, you're the best at events. Why? Because you love talking to people, you're waving at them and smiling, you're getting them hype. I can do that.
Yeah.
I don't like to do that. I don't, you know what I'm saying? But like, because maybe I've just gotten so attached to like when I see the athletes working hard and they're pushing themselves and things of that nature.
Yeah, you're not really talking to them.
I'm not there to like hype them up. I'm there to just capture, right? I'm there to be a fly on the wall. And so like I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I enjoy that kind of aspect of it. Obviously when we're shooting models and it's a little bit different, obviously, we're talking, we're joking, we're making them feel comfortable, giving them pointers or ideas. So I can transition, right? I can transition, but like there's no one better at like going through a crowd and like getting them like riled up in a sense.
And it's funny you say that because there is photographers or videographers that are very like, let's see what's gonna happen, and then there's others that are make it happen, right?
Yeah.
Like we've gone to events and there's photographers there and we're just doing video and they're not really doing much. They're just like waiting. And we get there and we're tearing the place up. Like, hey, let me move this over here. Let me move this. Let me get this shot. Can you guys move a little bit over here? And you know, and that's just how we've shot.
Yeah.
And because we're getting paid to shoot something, let's just make it happen. Let's do our job.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why I'm like that, because I don't want that customer to come back and be like, or that client, and then come back and like, hey, you didn't do this.
Yeah, or why does the wedding look so boring? Like, because it was boring.
That's the other thing too, is like, because I've had people that are just, you know, Debbie Downers, man. Like they don't want to be there.
They're not trying to party. No, they don't want to party.
They don't, and to do a video where nobody's partying or, you know, or not
at least
that
smiling,
they're partying or
at least smiling,
yeah, having a good time. It's so hard to try to say it was the other way, You know, like
yeah, you can't tell a story of like this was the best day ever when
everybody's
it was not
frowning or tired or whatever, you know? So it's kind of like it's hard to do that. Like in my contract, I say that you have to be in the most positive mood that day because I can't edit your facial expression. I can edit like, you know, if you broke out that day or if your dress has a
stain,
or something, but your expression, especially in video, like that's why I love video. It's so raw. Like you can't really hide it, you know? You can cut it out, but you can't hide anything.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of those things, and that's what kind of takes me to that, to make sure that we're always like hyping the people up to like get a nice picture, get a nice photo, and motivating them, you know?
Yeah.
But it is so true about how we have to focus on what we want to do, like what we love to shoot, and try to get away from, because I'm chasing the money sometimes. You know, I'm working every single day, I'm shooting every single day, chasing that money, but sometimes I don't like to shoot that.
Yeah.
You know, and at what point are you able to say, okay, I'm not gonna make that money, but I'm gonna focus on shooting what I like?
Do both. Because this is what I do.
Well, yeah. Well, that's when you have to even it out.
Yeah.
But
when I started to post on my Instagram, and like it's not like I have this mapped out thing of what I want to post on Instagram. Sometimes I post just because I feel like it.
Right.
That's most of the time, actually. I just feel like posting. Like, I'll see a picture from last week of me and my girlfriend, and I like it, and I'm like, oh, I never posted that. I'm posting it right now. Boom, posted. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's all good. Like, I don't feel like any certain way about like, what is it gonna do good? Is it gonna not do good?
Yeah,
like,
you know how people have like trends, like they'll do summer, winter.
I don't do that.
No,
I do what I like. Like, if I like it, I'll post
in
it.
that moment,
if not, it's all good. But one thing that helped me kind of direct myself a little bit more was naturally. I didn't decide to do it. I just naturally was like, I'm gonna post this picture because I like it. I'm not gonna post this engagement shoot just because I don't know. I don't want to. You know, I just don't want to. You know. And then I'll post this picture because I like it, and I won't post this graduation shoot because I don't want to. You know, like I just don't want it. You know, like it's not that I didn't like the photos. It's not that I didn't enjoy the interaction with the client. Everything could have went great. I just didn't want to post a photo, so I didn't post it. You know, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that say, post all your work so people can see it. It's like your portfolio. It's like no, I'm good. I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
And again, I'm just saying for myself.
That's
like,
what's
that's
worked
just,
for you.
Yeah, for me. So over time, what has happened is that I want to post the gym photos. So that's what gets posted. And then I post personal photos, you know, of my life.
Throughout.
And then I post gym photos because I like it. And then I sprinkle in other stuff that I've done that I enjoyed, and I just post it.
Right.
And but like you said, if you go on my Instagram, you'll see a lot of gym photos. But because I want to post that.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
the aesthetic you like.
Yeah, and I just enjoy it. You know, I enjoy it, and most of the time I'm shooting my friends. You know, so posting them on my account makes me feel good in a certain, you know, some weird way. So yeah, I mean that's just kind of how it happened, you know.
It's so funny you mentioned that about like posting or not posting. So last year I remember I did like, I don't know, I did like a graduation shoot every day in the month of May last year, and people would call me and be like, "Hey, you didn't post my like photo or my daughter's photo on your Instagram," and I'm like, I don't want them to feel bad, you know. But or my sons, why didn't you post my sons? You know, this and that. And I'm like, later I understood it's like, why should I? One is like, it's my Instagram, you know. But I also don't want to like upset anybody or make them feel upset, you know, for
not
posting. And at the same time, it's I have to understand that too. It's yes, it's your portfolio. Yes, it's your business card, and you give it to clients so that they can contact you through there and see your work. But that's the thing, like, you want to see the work that you want them to see, the work that you want them to see. Not necessarily like a fuerzas. It has to be that, you know. Like I'm getting better at learning that than to like always just post client, because there was a point where if you go low enough on my feed, you'll see like just client work. You don't even see me. You don't even see my wife or my kid. Like it's just all work, 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 work. But I mean, it got me where I'm at now.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. No, yeah, there's no reason in being like, man, I shouldn't have done that, or I should have done this. It's like, dude, the reality is you're here, right? So yeah, I mean, and I feel like it's one of those things, and not to knock anyone that does it, because like you said, you did it, and I mean, I was never judging you for doing it,
No.
or anybody else. Like, why not? Like, if you're like, if you feel comfortable doing that, or you want to just share everything, by all means, do it. Like, you know, that's great. That's how you do with your Instagram. Like, that's why it's yours. You know, you can do whatever you want. Yeah. There's people that post their watch every day. That they could take a picture of their watch just to like keep themselves accountable with what time they wake up every day. That's perfectly fine. That's their Instagram. You know, who am I to be like, this guy's dumb? Like, why is he posting this all the time? You know, post a story instead, you buffoon. You know, but no, I mean, anybody's entitled to do whatever it is they want. Yeah, that's just the way I did it. That's just the way that I did it. I post like there's some dentist stuff that I do with Linda and Everett, and I'm like, I love this. I'm gonna post it right now.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's just, it's not even work. It's not fitness. It's not my personal, but it is my work. You know, so it's not like it's not. You know?
Yeah, I did a wedding with Alex last weekend. Our good friend Alex, shout out Alex. And one of the things we brought up was our style, right? Like for her, I told her I can instantly tell that it's your photo because of your style.
Dude, someone posted a photo and I'm like, that's Alex's photo.
Yeah.
And I like did the tap, and sure enough,
without
Alex.
anybody telling you, or you see somebody's story and you're like, oh, okay, Alex shot that. Same thing with Eric. Eric has that same style.
Yeah, he's consistent with his
very consistent, and you are too. Cool. And you guys are very like, you don't use that much like flash or anything like that. So mine varies a lot because I'll do like studio shoots with flash, and then sometimes I'll do natural light, but mostly it's flash because I like that look sometimes. But I do need to be I feel like I need to be very more consistent to posting things that I like, not necessarily what I think other people may like.
No, of course.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, and I think that's what I believe has brought me closer and closer to like the style that I like. You know? Because I did that a lot. Like I did maybe this looks good, or this preset, or that preset, or this one, or that one, and then you kind of just jumping around, and then you see other things around, you know, social media, and you're like, well, that's what's working for them. I'm gonna try to do something like that, you know. But then you realize it's like it just never feels real. It really just feels like you're just copying somebody else.
Yeah.
You know,
and I think kind of the worst. Yeah.
And I think that's noticeable too, you know, like when you have such I don't know, I guess a variety of looks, you can start feeling a little imposterish in a sense of like, well, I'm all right here, and I'm all right there, and I'm all right over here, but I don't feel like I'm good in this area, in this one area, you know, like I've mastered that, you know. And not to say that I've done that, or maybe somebody else can say that they have, but like I feel like I am closer, you know, than I was before, just sticking to what I enjoy, you know, and just trying to recreate that as much as possible, and then being realistic too. It's like my style's not gonna work in every scenario, so it's okay to like move it and adjust and you know, kind of go around in different areas, and you know, we also are subject to the client. You know, if the client enjoys how I work, you know, who I am as a person, how I treat them, if they enjoy all those things, but they don't want that particular look that I can give them, they want a little bit different, I don't mind. Like, I don't mind. I'll say like, okay, you want it like this? Yeah, like I was just thinking a little bit brighter and a little airy. For sure. Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah, like I'm not mad at that. Yeah. You know, I'm not gonna tell them like, well, that's not my style.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not an ass like that.
Yeah,
you know?
I think a lot of times, I think it's hard to find that identity, right? Like I try to find my identity too, and I still think I'm trying to figure out like what my style is, just because I shoot so many things. Like I'm just so diverse into what I shoot. I probably won't shoot the same thing twice every week. Like sometimes shooting a house, sometimes shooting a wedding, sometimes I'm shooting a graduation shoot. So it's very hard to find it, especially if you're trying to get inspiration by other people you like.
Yeah.
Like if you see 5 different people's YouTube videos and they tell you 5 different things, it's like, okay, so what is right?
Yeah. No, I think there's definitely value in you physically going into the Lightroom or whatever it is you edit in, and just working.
Yeah. Also, just shooting. Like shoot and try to find it, not just like, oh, I'm gonna do exactly what that person is doing, and then I'll change it. It's like I think you kind of have to start from scratch and just be like, okay, I'm gonna shoot this photo. I like how it looks. Let me go into Lightroom. Let me save that preset and try to use it on another scenario, and then go from there, right? Because that's what I've started doing.
Yeah.
Just so I can find my look. Because I think that's a huge compliment when people tell you, hey, I saw a picture and I immediately knew it was you.
Yeah.
Like,
no, for sure. Yeah.
It's like
it's definitely like a proud moment, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It makes you feel good. And like even you saying it, like it's like, oh, you really like you feel like I have that style, like good.
It happens
because I've worked for that. I've worked to get there. And one of the biggest reasons, like Eric has always said, like that his style like kind of evolves through the years, and he has like ever since he started, he has saved that, so it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's led up to like where he's at now. And so like then I started to realize like I need to get to a certain point where that I can do that too. So working towards that and being mindful that I'm actually sitting down on the iPad or on the computer and I'm working for that, like me knowing that that's what I'm doing right now, I think helped me get there.
Yeah. And
because
then if
I wanted to just like run into it at some point, I don't think it would have ever happened.
Yeah.
I would have just been going in circles still, and like trying to figure it out. But
yeah, I agree. I think it just adds value to your craft.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, man. Great talk. I appreciate it. One of the things that we want to do on the podcast before we even started the podcast, we wanted to do was a photo of the week segment. And I'll let Jaid go first and do his photo of the week first.
Yeah, so my photo is actually of a good friend here at the gym. Her name's Alba. And I just like the photo. It was my first, I think it was one of the first few photos that I shot when I got back into town. And we're looking at it right here.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is what I'm actually proud of. My most proud moment of this whole photo would be that I nailed the focus on her eye. Because if you've ever shot something like this, what tends to happen is that, especially if you're on autofocus, it'll pick up like the elbow, right? Or the weights or whatever, wherever you have your focus laid. But I set my focus and I guesstimated a little bit from seeing her do the movement a few times of where her head was gonna be, and sure enough, that's where it was, and I got it. And it's cool because it has a little bit of like almost like a vignetting, but what that is, it's the bar
from across.
From the what's it called, the rack.
Oh yeah.
So what it is, it's like the edge of it that the camera's picking up, and it created that little like vignetting. So
sick.
It gave it definitely a mood, huh? Like, it almost felt like I ran it through Photoshop.
To do that.
Yeah, no, but it's straight out of the camera. Obviously I edited it, but I didn't add any more vignetting or anything like that. That's just the bar that's running straight up, the pillar, I guess you could say, of that. And it made that little effect. And then obviously her face nice and clear, bright. And then with my preset, with a few adjustments, the way I was shooting this,
get that color.
Yeah, I got that color.
That's so sick.
Yeah, man, it was good. I like that photo a lot.
That's awesome. And I think that's like the epitome of a photo, like a Jaid photo. Like that's like, I know Jaid took that. Not just because it's like Hidden Valley. Like you don't see any Hidden Valley anything, but you just automatically know. because of the way it's shot.
It got shot
and colored.
Yeah. It's funny because like I remember when Eric and I first started shooting at the gym, and like I would pick up his camera, like because I would be shooting video, and then all of a sudden, just to keep all the pictures, you know, like if he's working out, I would pick up the camera, and he's like, dude, it's so funny. I see like a clear like line of like when I stopped taking the pictures and you started taking the pictures. Like it's noticeable.
It's so funny how that is. How like we all shoot different.
Yeah.
But it's a good different. Not
like definitely.
Like a bad thing.
No, it's like you shoot different and that means you suck. You know, it's like no, you shoot different and it works for you and it looks good for you. Yeah.
It's so funny. All right, so we'll go ahead and jump into mine. Mine is just shot straight out of camera. I have not had time to edit it, but I really enjoyed the photo. And it's a wedding I did on Tuesday of this past week.
Oh, cool.
So it's a group photo. It's probably, I think it was just a small wedding. I wasn't supposed to stay there the whole night, but it ended up being like, hey, Daniel, one more picture. And I'm like, we're going to add more hours, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And it ended up being great. I just had a flash on my camera, and then it was cool because they had like this canopy, right? Like, was that what you call them? Like canopy? Like so it was a white one, and it served like as a softbox. So I just shot my speed light up, and it kind of caught everybody, and then it was like at a 6.3 aperture, so it made everybody else in focus, even the people like way in the back. Back in the back. And you got cool reactions from people, obviously the newlyweds, and I don't know about this lady, but but yeah, it was really cool to capture all these moments for this couple.
Oh, these are our homies.
Who's that?
Mundo and
oh really?
Melissa.
Yeah, they were dope. They were cool.
They're cool.
It was cool because I had told them that, hey, let's do a group photo, and they don't. It was funny because they don't imagine what you're going to do with like a group photo. And they're like, oh, it's so many people. And then I had the 14 mil.
So you went super wide.
Super wide. And I was so close to them. I was like maybe 3 feet in front of them getting the photo. And they're like, are you catching all of us? Like, are you
really getting
there?
It? Yeah. Because I don't think you are.
Yeah. And then you immediately just show it to them. And they're like, oh, my God, that's a beautiful picture and this and that. And obviously catching them kiss, it's kind of...
It was perfect.
Pretty romantic. And I shot like 7 of these. And, I just chose this one.
Yeah,
they're
that's
kissing.
Cool.
But,
nice.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It can give you guys a sense of style of like how different we shoot or what different things do we do get hired for. Not that Jay doesn't get hired to do weddings. I just get hired more to do weddings, and I'm more prone to do that. Well, you shoot more video too.
It's because I shoot video.
Yeah. When I do video, when I do weddings, I usually take photos and I have Jade do the video portion, just because we communicate very well at this point. Like, I can literally just be somewhere and I know exactly where you're gonna be, which is cool.
Yeah,
but. Weddings are tough. Weddings are long.
We got one tomorrow. But Danny's gonna be doing video with me, so it'll be chill. Because typically what we do is like he'll do the photo, I do the video. But tomorrow we're just doing video.
Yeah, that's gonna be chill.
It'll be chill.
Usually I do photo, but then I help him out with the tripod here and there.
Yeah, yeah. So here it's just we're both focused on getting the video shots. So and then Eric is gonna be doing the photos.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so it should be fun.
That's gonna be fun. We're gonna be all three.
Yeah.
Like in a long time we have never.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while that we've all been at one place. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in the podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Peace.